The Pittsburgh Steelers might be showing their hands at a different position, and it's a surprising position. It's a position that I do not understand, but the more you look into it, the more you kind of feel, all right, there's a justification for it. I think more of a justification for it than going after Jackson Dart and Jalen Milroe. The Steelers have now spent significant time with 2 first-round safeties. That is Malachi Sparks and Nick Emuware. Both of them freak athletes. Both of them expected to go in the first 32 picks. Both of them on the Steelers' radar. The Steelers invited the South Carolina defensive back Nick Emuware to, and I studied that name. I definitely am saying it wrong, but I've studied that name for the last 12 hours. I've studied how to say that name, and I'm definitely saying it wrong, but I'm going to try. A freak athlete, a dude who runs a 4.3, 6'3", can hit like he is Cam Chancellor, much lesser, but he's got the power of a bruising safety and the speed of any top tier athlete that you want to have. This dude is a freak of nature athletically and is definitely expected to go right around that 21 mark near the end of the first round. Sparks is too. And the Steelers have shown a ton of interest in him. They were all about him at the Georgia Pro Day. I was told that, there were other names there, but the Pittsburgh Steelers had their eye on the safety, and they wanted him, and they still want him. It's weird. It's a weird situation because you still have Minkah Fitzpatrick for the next 2 years. You still have Deshaun Elliott and Juan Thornhill for the next year. Maybe the Pittsburgh Steelers are thinking long-term here, and they don't see a name like Deshaun Elliott in their future, which, if you've been watching this show long enough, you know I am very against. You keep Deshaun Elliott for the rest of his career. Unless he goes downhill, there's no chance I'm getting rid of him. Maybe it means that in a year, the Pittsburgh Steelers are not certain that they're going to have Minkah Fitzpatrick anymore. Maybe they're looking at it saying this is a massive year for Minkah to turn things around before we have to force our hand and look in a different direction. That could be a possibility for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And if it is, I can understand where you're going with this. My other thought is that sometimes the Pittsburgh Steelers just need to change course and go best player available. And in this draft, it is very heavy in the top half. You get those first 7-8 picks, there's loaded talent there. There is a ton of stars. The back half of the first round is not the greatest. There are a lot of question marks, especially at positions that the Pittsburgh Steelers are looking at. Obviously, Kenneth Grant, Walter Nolan, Derek Harmon could be there, but we don't know if they're going to be. And if they fall before the Steelers, they're going to have to go a different direction. Matthew Golden, Emeka Egbuka, who knows if they're going to be on the board at 21? And if they are they the best player available? And are the Steelers willing to take them compared to a Jaden Higgins in the third round if for some reason he ends up there, or a different name later that they could get their hands on? I don't know. Are you going quarterback? And if you're not going quarterback, or there are no quarterbacks available and there's nobody else available, what direction are you going in? Well, Malachi Sparks and Nick Emuware are two hell of a name. Both of them are hell of a name to end up at 21 and to be a player that just fits the Steelers defense as a chess piece, that could come in here. In today's NFL, the safety position could pretty much play it all. And the Steelers have, a need at slot corner that, I get it, Beanie Bishop and Brandon Echols could fill, but maybe they're thinking, all right, if worst case scenario, we're sitting there at 21, these are two absolute freak athletes that we at least have to consider. These guys are guys with massive upside that we have to look at. Okay, I understand that. In a year, you have decisions to make at safety. Right now, you could use a slot corner, or at least options at a slot corner. And if there's nobody else there and trading back isn't an option, or even if you do trade back and you're thinking both of these guys can be there, or at least one of them, it makes some sense. I see that for the Steelers. That's how I view the situation at safety for Pittsburgh, is not that they are identifying safety as a need right now, but more so that they believe that at the end of the first round, those two guys might be the best two guys on the board, and there could be a gap between them. They've done that in the past. They did that with TJ Watt. They did that with Cam Hayward was selected 31st. This is what happens. You find those guys that just somehow make their way to the Pittsburgh Steelers and they say, that's a Steeler. You just have to go get that guy. I think Nick Emmanwori definitely is. And I think anybody from Georgia's got potential. So you obviously have to consider that. But I view the Pittsburgh Steelers as just making sure that they're doing their due diligence on guys who are going to be there around the end of the first round, who are very good and who might be the best player available in the draft come that 21 mark, or maybe if they trade down a little bit later. Because guys like Kenneth Grant, guys like Walter Nolan, guys like Emeka Egbuka or Omarion Hampton or any of those names are not guaranteed to be on the board when the Steelers are up. And if that's the case, man, Nick Emmanwori is a lot better than reaching on another position. Malachi Sparks is a lot better than reaching on another position. And I think the Steelers are aware of that. They're spending some extra time getting to know guys that are going to be there around 21. And I respect it because sometimes don't reach. Don't go get another Terrell Edmonds. Don't go get another Artie Burns. Don't go get another Kenny Pickett. Get the best guy that's going to be a star in the NFL. A lot of times that works out best. And I think right now he could fill a need over Beanie Bishop or Brandon Echols if neither of them work out. And in the future, both of them could play safety if the Steelers have tough decisions or make tough decisions on their quarterback room a year from now. That's where the Steelers are at safety.